Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning. It is Saturday, which means that we are playing Black Flag, our Rapscallion campaign. It's a PBTA game. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Welcome, everyone. Today, I will reprise for the last time. Where's my character sheet? Nathaniel Ashworth, the escort and swashbuckler of the Swallow. Before we jump in and introduce the rest of our cast, I would just like to thank our sponsors for today, beginning with, of course, Magen Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. Check them out at store.magenpress.com and use code WanderingDM to get 15% off. Also, check out Found Familiar, great coffee makers based in Kansas. You should go to foundfamiliar.com and order some coffee, which they roast right before shipping it to your place, and use code WanderingDM to get 10% off. And then our last sponsor for today is Roll20, the platform that we use for all of our games on Wandering DM. And of course, our partners, Level Up Dice. Be sure to check them out using the purple torch down below or the links in chat. That said, we are missing a Josie, unfortunately, because hurricanes and weather and climate change. But we're going to introduce the rest of our cast, beginning with Quentin.
Good morning, afternoon, night, wherever you're at in the world watching this. Good, whatever time of day that is. I am Quentin, like running around like without, my super cool wig on, and I'm gonna dragon and chat and Twitter. And today I am playing Isaac Brown. He's the navigator sometimes, and I'm excited for this episode, and I'm kind of sad. So let's just go with that.
Our next person is Alyssa.
Ahoy! It is I, Alyssa. I'm Captain Renata de Rochefort, the somehow one in charge of this mess of wonderful people. So I am echoing that. I'm very sad this is the last time, but also very excited for this episode feeling. So it'll be fun.
And our last player for today, Shauna.
Hey, I'm Shauna Flanksers on Twitter, and I am playing Corinne Haley, the ship's witch, but no longer being with the demon. She is now the chronicler. She is with books, and she has a lot to make up, considering that she almost sacrificed her crew. But yeah, I'm this looking forward to it, but yeah, also going to finales. Finales always have mixed emotions.
And host. Our fates. The person who gets to decide how this, not necessarily how to decide how the story will end, but who has planned twists and turns for us in this finale today. It is Deirdre.
Oh, hey y'all, welcome back. This is our finale. It'll be great. As we've been, there will be absolutely no problems whatsoever. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. As we've been saying, this whole season has been season 2 Adventures and Consequences. And there are a lot of consequences that have been developing. But right now, the crew have set sail from Port Royal, escaped from Port Royal, with the knowledge of 2 very important things. One, they've decided not to liberate a demon anymore, and that could be good or bad for them in the long run. And 2, Nathaniel has a date with a personal gentleman for a duel of honor to rescue his Lady Love won Josie from the clutches of her father? Question mark. Ignatius Steele. I mean, it gets complicated. And you had set sail, and I believe, well, also, apparently there was an agreement to have a romantic dinner between the captain and Isaac after the captain and Corinne rescued or facilitated the breakout of the jail of Nathaniel and Isaac from the holding cells on the guard quarters of the governor's mansion of Port Royal. And it is through this that we now see the scene of the ship underway, and Nathaniel is the only one who knows about the Spanish galleon that had made its way away from Port Royal an hour, 2 hours before you did. That the drunken, dead individual who gave you the information about Josie being kidnapped said that's where she was. Remind me, Captain, I believe there was a discussion last week of heading to Tortuga and then to Havana?
Yes, the plan is to go to Tortuga, catch up with Nathaniel's mother, to make good on our end of the bargain there, and to potentially rally back up in case this duel doesn't go very well. So I believe we were setting sail immediately, knowing that this is, it delays us from getting to Josie, but it's gonna still get us in time for Nathaniel's duel.
Yes, I believe that is correct. So you are headed toward the port of Tortuga, Smile Island off the west coast of Hispaniola. The sun has set. The stars are out. We're going to start with the captain's cabin. Candles glowing in the candelabra, a table set with the mostly good china. And a fine linen tablecloth. Not the very fancy lace one, but, a decent linen. And we see the captain kind of... Well, how do we find the captain?
Probably, despite knowing who the guest is for this dinner, is being very, that whole anticipation of something coming that you don't really entirely understand what's going to happen. That, nervous excitement. Just, straightening edges and sprucing things up and, kind of fiddling with something just to, I'm pretty sure she's going through, I don't know why this is so nerve-wracking, but it is. What is happening? Why am I doing this? But also, I want to? What is happening to me?
And then there's a knock at the door. And I have a vitally important question, Quentin. Did Isaac clean up for this event?
Yes. If there would be like a smash cut of just there would be like no words, but it would just be like Isaac and Nathaniel like talking to each other, and then like Nathaniel like holds up like a bar of soap and he like gestures, and I look at it, I'm like, and he like hands it again, and I'm like, okay. There's probably like a whole montage of like him like holding up like different like shirts and stuff on me, and I'm like, I don't want that one.
So basically, Nathaniel is Lumiere in the Beauty in the Beast cleanup scene.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, good to know. Puts things in perspective. So then there's the appearance of at your door.
Enter.
Captain, I'm here for our meeting date.
Yeah. Yeah, come in. Shut the door.
Alyssa, how does Captain Renata look?
So typical captain is always like the big captain's coat that she's very proud of with its like, large silver buttons and generally like, much more masculine in appearance unless she has to blend in with the dress. And this is probably the first time with the exception of the whole gala episode, probably the first time that Isaac has seen Renata in like an actual like wine red dress. She has surprised herself. Like, I think it was more like, I don't know why I'm putting effort into this. Like, I'm pretty certain like he won't, but I'm going to anyway because I want to catch him off guard. Because to Renata, this is a game. This is not, I don't think she thinks that Isaac is serious about this being like a romantic thing. So she is, but she's still gonna, set the table and be appetizing, as it were.
With that being said, Isaac would definitely do like probably like a single, double, triple take and just be like, Captain, you look amazing. Would you mind if I called you Renata for the evening?
I think for this it makes sense. I am surprised to see you so cleaned up.
I did have some help.
I gathered. I'm sorry, I don't want to lead with insults, I suppose.
Well, let's take a seat, and I'll move over and like pull out her chair.
This is just like all of the things where she's like, what is going on? This is what? But it's probably one of those things that it's like, it's very gracious. It's very like, everything's very nervous because it's very out of character for both of us.
The scene like hard cuts back to like Isaac and Nathaniel. Nathaniel's like, now you have to pull her chair out for her. I'm like, but why? And it like cuts back.
The etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
So I think somewhere in the middle of dinner, glass of wine in hand. Isaac, I need to be real with you in this moment. I don't get what you're after.
There's been a feeling that I've been having when I'm around you. And I can't say it's been replicated before. It's almost like when you're at a tavern and there's the most precious bottle like just out of reach up on the shelf, and you're like, I really want to drink all of that, but you can't. It's almost like that feeling when I'm around you.
But I am a very nice bottle that you cannot drink.
I'm attempting to. Now, I know we're coworkers, and the saying is, don't.
Yes, that is definitely a consideration.
But I want to serve you not only as a crewman, but also as a potential lover.
I mean, Isaac, I'm very much not used to being the hunted. I'm usually the hunter. So this is new territory for me. And also a side of you I wasn't expecting.
The way that I understand it is sometimes things come into perspective. An epiphany, if you will. Like a door will close and then another one opens, and you just go where it takes you.
She'll take a long, long drink. I suppose, do you not remember the mermaids that tried to save your life? Or I don't know what they were actually thinking, but
Probably going to eat me.
yeah, I dove in after you. And, I punched a mermaid. I don't know what happened, but when you got on that boat and you just went towards the Kraken and then were under, I don't know where those feelings came from, but I couldn't bear the thought that we would be without you, that I would be without you. So imagine my extreme pain when you turned around and attempted to betray me. And I think
It wasn't a betrayal, it was a bad way of trying to impress you. I didn't want control of your ship. I just wanted control for the moment to do what I thought was the right thing.
And yet. But I realized in not choosing a more harsh punishment for you, it was from a place of favor. So there you have it. I am impressed by all this.
Every day I am more and more impressed by you. You just the way you care for your crew, the people around you, the people you care about, it's very empowering. And to be near someone such as you, it makes me feel really warm inside.
I think she'll lean over a little bit on the table and just sort of take this all in. So what will you give then to your captain?
What would you like, Renata?
The stars, the moon. I would take a favor of dedication, perhaps. Though I'll take love as a token.
If I can figure out a way, I'll give you the moon and the stars, Captain. Renata.
Very well. I think this is the point in the night where you're supposed to kiss me. And if you don't, you will deeply disappoint me.
10 out of 10, caught off guard, mind you, for Isaac.
Mhm.
He'll definitely move over and
Oh, yeah.
the big kiss.
This is like the passionate kind of zoom out. It is surprising how great this is. And just let that fade.
That pulls back, zooms out, camera pans to the candle that's still in the silver candlestick on the table as it kind of flickers for a moment and then blows out, fade to black. But as we pull away from our interesting new lovers, the camera will pan down. Corinne, where do we find you on this journey to Tortuga?
I think Corinne is on the main deck, sitting on the side of the ship, just looking, reading her book. Just kind of wanting to be alone, not necessarily want to be in her quarters.
The book is very interesting. It has since interesting things in it besides the information that you've gathered about Sezoth and his manipulative, evil ways. Because he fully is evil. But it is also a book that seems to have some level of power. At least you think so. There are notes and information in there. Just roll me plus, what is it? Plus polish.
One more.
Well, I'll let you keep that 1/6.
Okay.
So add 1d6 plus polish.
Oh no, 6.
6. You are aware that there is power in here, but you are aware that it's going to take you time, probably the rest of the night,
Mm-hmm.
to access that power. And you are pretty sure that it will you can get there, but it'll take you the rest of the night.
All right. I think upon that, I think something triggers her memory. She slams the book shut. She wants to visit our friend in the brig.
Everybody seems to be very interested in one Lieutenant Roland Fitzgeoffrey. The captain and Isaac had a meeting with him last night. Or yesterday. Earlier today, I should say. Earlier today. So you make your way down to the brig. It's quiet. Excuse me. Those who are on duty are on deck. Those who are off duty are getting some sleep because it is late. There is no one that seems to intercept you. You vaguely see like Kunari kind of register you moving, glance at you, see who it is, nod, and kind of roll back over. But there is no one in the brig except for Roland Fitzgeoffrey, who's kind of rolled himself up in his officer's jacket and, kind of like quasi pulled it over his head in the corner. To all
She'll-
appearances, asleep.
Yes. She'll kind of skulk toward as close as she can get, and just Mr. Fitzjeffreys, wake up.
Mm. There's a moment where he goes from asleep to awake because military man on officers, there might be an actual reason why he's being called. Oh, no, it's just you.
Oh, just me. How are you holding up?
The accommodations could be better.
Oh, they could be worse, also. I was up on deck. I've had quite the past few days. You understand? And I remembered something I overheard about you and my sister.
That we are currently engaged to be married.
Yes. Now, I imagine that if you were to get out of this, you would leave here, make your way back to England, and pursue that engagement. Am I correct?
He just
Roll.
kind of stares at you deadpan.
Yes or no?
Indeed, if that is what His Majesty's Navy requires of me.
I didn't ask what the Navy. What about you?
My desire to marry your sister is valid and sound. But if the Navy requires me to remain here for another period of time, then that is what I shall do.
And that's why I am here. If we were to reunite you with your beloved Navy, and eventually you to make your way back home. I left my family in no uncertain terms, hostile situation. I can't go back. Burned those bridges a long time ago. But I have been maintaining correspondence with my youngest. You should know of her, Edith.
Yes.
And I am afraid that she is being targeted, seduced by something I wish her not to. Partially on my misjudgment.
You fear for the lady's safety.
I fear for her soul, Roland.
And
I can make sure that things are arranged, that you get to go back to your ship. Your life doesn't end here, as much as some people on the ship would like it, but on one condition. That you arrange, as the heir of a house, arrange to have my sister sent here. There are things I need to teach her to keep her safe. Things she needs to know about.
I need you to roll me parlay.
Mm-hmm. Parlay is
Polish.
polish. God, oof. I'm so good at polish. Just great.
Ooh, a 9.
Okay,
That's acceptable.
that's
He will accept your terms, but he's going to change them a little bit.
okay.
In this case, he's going to counter with I would bring your sister, if she becomes my good lady wife, here and establish her on a appropriate plot of land, but I wish to ensure that she is cared for in the means of which she is accustomed to.
That is fine. All I mean is to.
I wish to, and unfortunately, a poor first lieutenant does not necessarily have the income that one of a great captain of a naval vessel or even good minor lord, country gentry can provide. And he kind of gives you that look like, I know you're sitting on a pile of money, you pirate.
Fine. Oh, you strike a tough bargain. My father is sure to enjoy your company, so, well, my sister's soul is worth more than any treasure we have in here. You can have my share. Feel free. I can always... Money was never that much of an option for me. Take it.
A small, modest sum of appropriate means. I would not wish to be accused of being...
Consider it a wedding gift and compensation for running this errand.
Fine wedding gift.
And another condition of mine. You did not enjoy those dreams
No.
since you left port. And know that I can see, even when I am not there, if I find out you go back on this or find a way to betray me, which I don't think you will. This is just insurance for myself. Those will never end. Even when you close your eyes, even when you're awake.
You drive a very hard bargain, Lady Corinne, but we have an accord. And he'll kind of like reach his hands through the bars of the brig at you.
Then we have a deal. Don't we, brother?
I look forward to our business, sister.
Of course. I'll make sure that your accommodations are, until we get to port, slightly better. This is no longer a hostile holding. I'll talk to the captain and we'll make sure that you get back.
Thank you.
Now I must go. Sleep well.
You sleep well.
And she will leave.
And as you're walking back to your quarters, the camera pans away from you to Simon, where do we find Nathaniel?
Nathaniel is going to go see Roland.
Roland has
like, pass
all
each
the
other?
business.
No,
I'm I'm just imagining this scene though.
You have to imagine this in order, right? First, Isaac and the captain had the scene with Roland. Then they leave, agree to get themselves ready for a fancy dinner. They've gone to a fancy dinner. Then in the night, Corinne comes to speak to Roland. She leaves, and about 5 minutes after she leaves, Nathaniel shows up.
After listening at the door to the captain and Isaac, so he's got like the little glass in hand.
Everybody's been.
Yep.
No, in all honesty, to begin with, Nathaniel would make sure that all of his gear is ready after spying on the captain and Isaac. But
You know, is it spying or is it making sure your protege is, not screwing up?
it's also one part curiosity as to how Isaac actually acts when he's sober.
Well, that's fair. That's valid.
But yeah, then he would... So, like, while Corinne is having this conversation with Roland, he would be in his quarters, making sure that his weapons are sharpened, his pistols are clean, all of that. And then he's avoided Roland for the whole trip. So
Yes.
it's about time now that he goes in. Oh, sorry, sees him.
All right. So the camera follows Nathaniel as he makes his way down to the brig, quietly, sneakily. There's still that lantern burning from when Corinne had come in, but Roland seems to have kind of settled himself back against the wall and is doing that leaning against the wall, eyes closed. You're not sure if he's asleep or just ignoring the world kind of moment.
Lieutenant?
Mr. Ashworth. Aren't you a sight?
You've kept somewhat well for living in the brig. How do you find your accommodations?
As recent developments have allowed me. Hopefully they will be bettered shortly.
Oh, is that so?
What do you wish, Nathaniel?
As of this moment, you can consider our little arrangement null and void, Lieutenant.
That is fair. I have a new business prospect.
I was expecting a bit more resistance from you, but if you've turned a new leaf, we are missing a swabby.
No, I have no desire to turn pirate.
You're missing out, Roland.
I don't think I am, Nathaniel.
Well, then I will take my leave. We should ditch you out at some point. That's up to the captain.
Yes, I had a pleasant conversation with your captain earlier this evening.
Good.
I seem I will be leaving your company in Havana.
Hmm. Then, I could say it was a pleasure, but it really wasn't.
Why did you engage in this little business, Nathaniel? I've always wondered, what benefit was it to you?
Because back then, I still felt a pang of guilt about leaving my friends behind in the Navy. But over the last couple of months, I realized that you are all sheep.
Some are sheep. And some of us are just wolves in sheep's clothing.
No, Roland. Your fangs have been filed. You still live within the confine of English society. You might have a gilded cage, but it's a cage nonetheless.
Why
I go
wouldn't
where
I want to? You go where you please.
I do what I want.
You do what you want. Does your captain have anything to say about that?
None at all. And soon, there won't be a captain over me.
There won't be a captain over you. What are you going to do? Turn traitor? Have a mutiny?
You really think I'm going to divulge any of that with our prisoner?
I mean, to be fair, I haven't given away your secrets in the last few years, and hasn't been to my advantage. I'm not going to tell anyone else here.
But you could.
No. Nathaniel, I haven't even given you away now. When it would have been to my benefit.
Out of game 2 seconds.
Yep.
Because Nathaniel doesn't want any loose ends. But I didn't know Corinne would strike that deal. So now I'm out of game conflicted.
Well, you might find things out if you ask about things. Because right now Nathaniel doesn't know.
Oh no, and he's not gonna ask either. But out of game, I want to ask Shauna, what would you rather?
And whatever you feel like doing, this will change things, but doesn't make anything. It doesn't make anything worse if he's out of the picture. Whatever you feel like.
Just means she has to find a new husband for your sister.
Your sister can become a pirate.
Yes, join us. It's quite the life.
Well, so we're gonna go back to the ship, and but you see, Roland, you could betray me at any moment.
Ah. Is this where we come to the murder portion of the evening?
Soon there won't be a captain over me, but I can't have anyone have anything over me either.
Well, since you're going to kill me anyways, are you going to kill your captain too? Just out of curiosity.
And I'll get like closer to him. Is he tied up?
No.
Okay. So then, if he's not tied up, I would immediately go with the hidden blade for the heart.
I mean, the door, have you walked inside this brig cell?
Oh yeah, I thought we were like
No, because like the brig itself, there's the cell, and then there's like the little quarters. So
I thought I was inside the cell chatting with him.
okay, then yes, sure, you are.
So, yeah, as I stab him through the heart, I would approach his ear and just whisper, "Wouldn't you like to know?"
And Nathaniel, Nathaniel, you now have a dead Roland Fitzgeoffrey bleeding out on the floor of your brig. With your very fancy blade that you just released from the gauntlet into
He
his
enters
heart.
the room. Oh, just bringing you some grog. Oh.
Roll me a D100, Simon.
One through 20,
64.
Steve sneezes in the corner.
And can you roll me a D10?
4.
Cool. Good to know. Thanks. You have a dead body.
Well, I'm gonna take it and throw it overboard. I'm just gonna go to one of the gun holes in the, like, not the upper deck, but the mid deck section where the guns are. Yeah, you can slide a body through, like, the...
Yeah, if the guns are pulled back.
Yeah, I would pull, like, one of the cannons back and then just...
I was like
Yeah.
doing the math on that, and it's like space. So you throw the dead body overboard. What do you do next?
Oh, I would go back to my quarters. That was my plan. Once Roland is taken care of, honestly, that's like the only thing that I needed Nathaniel to do before the duel.
Okay, so you make it look like he's escaped.
No, I don't care.
Okay,
Where's
so you
he
don't
going
clean
to
up any of the
escape?
blood spill. You just leave it.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we're in the middle of the
Yeah,
high seas.
There's
like,
nowhere he's gonna go. Where's he gonna go?
well, he could have
Yeah,
escaped and swum off the ship.
yeah, but in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean.
Yeah,
But you're
where?
not actually that
Oh.
far if you remember that you're sailing. Here, let me give you this map again. You are sailing from here in Jamaica to here in Tortuga. Or excuse me, here in Jamaica to here in Tortuga. And this is his so like that's about a day's sail, and there are a bunch of little islets that you could hit.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, I didn't think about that beforehand.
Okay. So there's just, whatever. Generic mess. He disappeared. As you are walking back to your quarters, there's the shift between one step and the next, and you are again somehow disoriented. Your body is moving without your control or your authority. You're walking towards your quarters, and then you walk beyond them towards Josie's room, but then you stop and you turn around and you kind of look left and right, like you're not sure where you're going or what's going on. And then you start walking back as if you're going to go up on deck. And now, between one step and the next, you're in control again.
I thought this would have stopped. I'm gonna go see Corinne.
Corinne, there's a knock at your door late at night.
Come in. Come in.
Hi.
Nathaniel.
It'd be me, I.
Yes, well, consider me surprised that you're here. What?
I'm still not
What's the
fully in
reason?
control of my actions, apparently.
Hmm. What is it this time?
Someone thought it good that I get rid of Lieutenant Fitzgeoffrey.
What? Oh,
Yes, I was going to meet Fitzgeoffrey to let him know that our agreement had come to an end.
I would find that curious because I just made an agreement with the man.
Oh, mine was many months before when I left the Navy.
Hmm.
And, apparently, whatever is in control of me decided to the good lieutenant is swimming with the fishes.
Well, I'll just say that is inconvenient. I did not have any fondness for the man, and quite the contrary, but he was meant to do another errand for me, but, well, maybe it's...
If I can help, I would, but I need your help, Corinne. This cannot go on any longer.
Hmm.
What's going to happen next? I don't want to be responsible for murders. Well, I mean, some of them, but... What happens if I accidentally, or, without my control, kill Josie?
Oh, yes. I mean, I imagine you... Well, that wouldn't be a foregone. Josie's quite formidable. It might backfire, but I see your concern.
I don't want to
Have-
die either if I try to stab Josie
Yes.
and she knocks me out with a brick.
Yes. I was just reading up on something like that in one of the books. I was curious what compulsions. You certainly don't want to be compelled by our friend when you duel him, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just take a seat here? And I'll try either communicate or find something out about this entity that is decided to stake a claim on you, so to speak.
I sit.
Mm-hmm. And she will reach out her hand. It's like, grab my hand.
Yeah, the last time I did that... Like, I'll hesitantly reach out with my hand.
There'll be no blood this time. And I think I will... one of my things is to investigate a scene. See if I can figure out what is plaguing Nathaniel, considering the last couple of times he's told me multiple instances what's just happened.
Yep. You roll plus vinegar to investigate a scene in
Mhm.
detail.
Okay. Oh, dice. 8.
On an 8, you get to ask one of those questions. and I answer in detail.
Is there something hidden here? What and where?
Yes, there is something, but more like someone.
Mm-hmm.
And what is another person, spirit, being? You can't pinpoint it. It's nothing that you've experienced before. It's so outside your, and it's not like possession by a demon. You know what that is. It's not something inherently malevolent, and it's not, but it's something with its own purpose and desire.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be nominally, occasionally possessing Nathaniel.
Okay.
But it does not mean him harm the way like a demon would. Like, you understand?
Yep. I think she's had some ideas on who this is based on when it happened. She will get she will walk Nathaniel to the chest in her room
Which
that
one?
has his father's remains in it.
Ah. Okay.
Oh, you're finally ready to meet my family?
I think we may have met your family already, or you have.
Uh-oh.
I am going to ask you to put your hand. She will put her hand on. She'll lead his hand onto the skull. Put his hand. I'm going to try and communicate with this. I think I know who this is. It's happened since we were in the treasure room, since we did the blood oath. May have opened you up to communicating with the spirit, and as weak as that was, blood family is strong enough, and you might have hidden away for your father to communicate with you. So we're going to try and use this focused, his remains, to strengthen that bond. And maybe we can get some answers and confirmations.
Or maybe my dad possesses me forever? How do you... how...
It's either this, or this will keep happening. And you will never know. Because you will not know if it's your father or if it's another malicious spirit. And you certainly do not want to have that hang over your head for the rest of your life. And certainly not put Josie in danger.
No, and I certainly would not want my father to possess me when I'm being intimate with Josie, because there are a lot of things to unpack there.
Oh, certainly. That brings up tremendous amounts of issues that, I don't want to even think about that at this point.
I mean, she already has enough daddy issues as it is.
Certainly. Some of us have a lot, and certainly want to add any more to that. Certainly other people's father issues as well. So, yes.
So I'm gonna put my hand on the skull.
And I am going to just try and use that blood link between us to strengthen that signal so we can talk.
Cool. I love all of this.
This is
great.
good. This is good stuff. This is not. This could never.
Can't go
Never.
wrong at all.
No. Contacting
Why
the dead.
don't I feel like because you're focusing and using blood, you should roll plus blood to see how this goes.
Okay.
Ooh, 10. You focus on your blood link with Nathaniel, and you focus in, and you focus on this skull, and you realize 3 things immediately. Number 1, your blood and Nathaniel's combined did something odd to Nathaniel. You know that it was the blood ritual itself, that there were consequences that were unexpected by giving Nathaniel, in particular, blood that had been powered by magic. Number 2, the individual whose skull you have is Nathaniel's father. And number 3, the individual who you felt briefly attached to Nathaniel was not his father, but of his bloodline.
Oh, I was.
You may ask me 3 questions.
Look,
Can I give that to? Okay, yeah.
You can because
share,
you're doing this together. You can share the questions.
Yeah. I'm willing to give Nathaniel the driver's seat on this one, because this is more for him. I am merely a focus for this to get this to happen. This is more for him.
All right. So what we know, well, Corinne, did you share that it is
Yeah.
someone who's related?
Yes, I think she'll be like, well, I was close, but whoever this is, they are of your blood, but not your father. Not. I was maybe off by a generation or multiple generations, but still.
And we're allowed 3 questions.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. First question. Is he my descendant?
He is descended from your family line.
Okay. So he is born at this very moment. He has been born at this very moment.
No.
Okay. That answers the questions I had in my head.
Let's rephrase this. He is not specifically necessarily your
Direct
personal
descendant. Yeah. But he's someone who hasn't been born yet, who bears my genes and or my DNA.
Yes, that's an answer.
And I have sired so many children in the Caribbean.
Which, if any of those were tied to, it would be your direct descendant.
That is true.
Just throwing that out there.
Wait, but Nathaniel... Nathaniel never knew. Like, he was so sure. Yeah, because even out of game, I never specified if Nathaniel had like siblings.
Nope. You
So
didn't know what happened to your father.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you the other question. 2 seconds.
I don't think that's allowed. I think chat needs to see this.
I love this. This is great.
Bets on how many consequences are going to come off of just this moment.
Just
You see through existence. This is
I just needed to see Deirdre's face. It's a silly question.
Well, she's disappeared, so you've literally broken the fates. So
No. The answer to your question is maybe.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I
Um,
have an idea.
and the last
That very specific question at the bottom, that very specific noun at the end, that's the maybe on that part.
oh yeah, because it could be other.
Exactly. It could be other.
We're not in 1262 Arabia. Is this person possessing me? Are they also related to Serac? In the
Sort
sense, not necessarily blood, but like in doing. Like, is it like some fucked up shenanigan that Serac did?
Serac had. You were closer with the previous statement. There is a closer connection of a familiar sense to Serac than in a Serac being just fucking with everyone.
Okay. And I think those were my 3 questions, right?
No, I'm not counting the middle one that you
okay.
that you texted me, because that's
So,
not
Here's because
you didn't share that with everybody else.
Yeah, it started with Corinne and the pact and everything.
Yeah.
Was the demon possessing Corinne in any way related to the entity that possesses me?
Not by blood.
That's
As in, the entity that occasionally possesses you has knowledge of that demon, but does not have any familial lineage or desire a connection of genetics to the demon Sazah.
Okay.
oh. Those certainly weren't questions that I was expecting, Nathaniel. Brings up more questions now than what I thought.
For some reason, Corinne, as he says, removing his hand from the skull, these answers will completely satisfy someone 200 years from now.
I feel like I walked into something that I wasn't expecting to.
Yeah.
400 years.
Oh, we're in 16. Yeah, in 400 years from now, they will satisfy a fucking nerd wearing a Kirby t-shirt.
Let's hope that person is good at games, because you don't want to have... Yes,
I don't know.
Nathaniel...
This person is making me do some non-Catholic things with Josie.
You just hear a voice in your head, entirely separate, sounds like some southern woman that you have no idea where she's from. He goes, I thought you were already doing those unchristian things with Josie, really?
But yes, no, it actually to stop breaking the fourth wall. I'm reassured that it is not what we did. It means that you didn't have anything to do with it. Or if you had something to do with whatever's possessing me, it wasn't your fault.
Well, regardless, the effect still goes on. Although considering that it is a relation of some sort, can at least be mildly sure that it's not malicious on your part. But does bring up many questions. Nathaniel, if I may ask, where did you come from? Where are you
England.
born?
I was born in Liverpool.
Well, then considering our good friend is, well, I assume at the bottom of the sea at this moment, correct?
Probably.
I still have my sizable portion of the treasure. And I have some errands I have to do back home. Conveniently. Also, relatively close to where you were born. On that side of that country. So, I'll offer you something. If you were to assist me getting my beloved sister back, help me keep the demon away from her, then I will do whatever I can to get some answers for you. Maybe Josie, maybe the crew. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh, you won't need to ask the rest of the crew for this. I will be more than happy to sail you to England.
She will arch an eyebrow with that. That's interesting statement, but we'll let that sit for a little while. Well then, future plans, but let's make sure that those plans, we are alive to embark on those plans. So I'll offer you something else. I am worried that you will be... that our friend will try and use magics against you to take your will. And I know that things that I have done have not made me the most trustworthy person by any stretch of reality, but I can... She'll put her book on... She'll take a book and put it on a journal and put it on the table. Maybe I can do something that'll ward that off. In theory. Leave you with your mind and your body enough to save Josie and maybe vanquish. It will take some time. and you will have to tell me things that only you know, because that's how this power works. There can be no secrets if I am to protect your spirit. But that requires also that you have some level of trust in me.
I trusted you before.
And look how that worked out. But I've seen the love that you have with her for each other. And I want to do everything in my power to ensure that you enjoy that love. And you have many years and not have regret that it ends swiftly for either one of you.
I would appreciate that.
Well then, before we leave, I will have to transcribe. This will be a book of your life, your spirit. I will have to write down, transcribe everything. And that book will give you the power, to the reality to be yourself, even when forces deem it take that power away from you.
And you can assure me that only you will ever read the book?
Yes. I can give it to you, give the book in your charge once it's over. Do whatever. We only need it for this instance. And I have really no use for, or the will to, do anything with their secrets, so. I imagine that the most recent part of betrayal is going to not be kind to me, but I'll have to endure it and make sure that both of you are safe.
So, Corinne, you're creating a book.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Memoir.
Oh, ooh. I need you to roll plus vinegar.
This is.
Can I help?
No, because it requires you to actually for her to create this book at all requires her to have a connection with you at all.
6.
So, on a 6, you begin transcribing. You begin transcribing this book, and you start writing in your Nathaniel. It looks like she's just almost like she's checked out. She's just writing and staring straight ahead, and words are coming out. And then you glance down kind of to see what she's writing, and she stops, quill vertical on the page, right at the point in your story, your history, your family. And right at the point where you cut your hand to put it to Corinne's. And the page stops. The writing stops. Corinne has stopped. She's just almost frozen in place.
Something wrong?
You can answer her. You can answer, but you can't write anymore. There's something inherent in Nathaniel that won't let you complete this book.
It's you or something. I can't move. I can't write anymore.
Well, if you're tired, I can.
No,
will.
I can't. I want to. I'm not tired. Just when I try, it will not. My hand will not move. Something is preventing me from doing it. I don't know why it's not doing that. It's so close. We're so close.
So the book is useless unless you're suddenly able to write. Is that it?
Unless we finish this. It's only days, a small part, but it needs to be complete in order for it to work at all. Completed book is no use.
Do you have to write it in one attempt?
We don't have much time. I think this is all the time we're going to have. Will it guide to my hand, see if that works?
Who?
You.
Oh. Yeah, so I'll, I will, get behind, I was gonna say Josie. Sorry, force of habit. I will get behind Corinne, and I'll put my hand on hers, and I will, literally do the ghost scene, but with writing.
Nathaniel, roll me plus vinegar.
I am now Patrick Swayze.
Can you dance like Patrick Swayze?
Nathaniel can, Simon can't.
That's fair. That's fair.
Aha! I fail again. Did you expect me to do anything different?
I mean, you succeeded a bunch of times in the last two sections. Succeeded significantly in the last two sections. But in this, you go to write and you go to keep writing, and the connection to the format is different, Corinne. Like, Nathaniel helps you write the words, but you don't feel the mystical connection that you think the book should have. I will say that you finish the story. You are not sure if it will have the effect you want.
Oh. Possibility effect is better than no effect at all. So it's the best we're going to have to do. Hopefully this works, Nathaniel. I can't give any guarantees. But if that time comes and I read this book, I hope that it will work.
And with that, in this image of the two of you writing under candlelight, the camera is going to pull up above the ship and the sea at night with stars and moon, the only figure on moving on the deck, well, aside from our dear friend at the helm, is Steve in the crow's nest, watching, focused. And he pulls out a crystal dagger and he starts playing with it through his fingers. And smirks just a little bit. And that's where we're going to go to break for the afternoon.
All right. When we come back, the inevitable duel.
When we come back, Nathaniel will reveal what he's plotting.
An epic death scene. Be right back, everyone. In about 5 minutes. Hello,
MJF
we are
liked
back.
it. So hi, how we doing? We arrive with the dawn as you are docking in Port Royal, or not Port Royal, excuse me, in Tortuga.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the scene of Nathaniel standing and looking, waiting for the last lines to be tied up. And just as the gangway is being set to the dock, the door to the captain's quarters opens and a very rumpled Isaac kind of staggers out. And you would see this, Nathaniel.
Hi. Isaac.
Good day, Nathaniel. Morning, day. What time is it?
You be walking with a swagger, aye? Something put some pep in your step?
My wrists are a little sore, but
You know you're not supposed to cut off blood circulation completely.
wasn't. We'll get it right. What's that thing they say? Practice makes you better. Practice something.
Practice makes everybody else but me perfect. I was born perfect.
Good for you, Nathaniel. Good for you.
It's why I share my art with the rest of the world.
'Tis a gift that could keep on giving.
Just
Where are
like
we?
chlamydia. We're approaching Tortuga, I believe.
Wow, I'm glad somebody was steering the ship. Ephraim, good job.
And we see at the helm, it's not Ephraim, it's just like two strings holding the wheel straight.
I mean, Ephraim's there.
We've
He is
automated Isaac's job.
Oh no.
I'm kidding.
Nah,
That's
we haven't-
fine. I think he's got a new role to fill.
And but the door to the captain's quarters is still open, Nathaniel.
I will go knock on the door frame.
Oh, yep. There is a definitely like dressed, but hastily so, back into normal, coat, pants, trying to maybe brush a little of the sex hair out.
One of those like, Captain, you missed a button.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nathaniel, hi. We're almost to port, yeah?
We are.
What do you, she's like looking out the door after Isaac as he walks away. Like, is there something you need?
Nathaniel would take a step inside and close the door behind him. Captain, we need to talk.
I'm assuming this is not a good talk we're about to have, is it?
If I were you, Captain, I would make myself comfortable and sit down.
She's gonna grab a bottle of rum. All right. What is it?
Captain, you know I've been a hard-working, loyal member of this crew for years.
You have? Always been an important part of the crew. A trustworthy confidant, and for the most part, until very recent events, someone I could completely depend on. Recent events have just sort of gotten away from us, I think.
Which is partly why I'm coming to you today. Captain, I think our story's coming at an end.
I was quite afraid of that.
Once we hit Tortuga, it is my intention to leave this crew and purchase a ship of my own.
I would assume you are taking Josie with you when we get her back.
It is why I was coming to you, Captain. I don't want to be poaching from your crew, but it is sort of a... call it a retirement plan.
I would not
Or
keep you
drink.
from your love. I won't keep you from her. But I would like to make a proposition. Let us go with you to Havana. And it is a gentleman's duel. And while I am no gentleman, I would still like to be your second and see you through.
I mean, building a ship is not going to be instantaneous.
No.
So-
That's. I'm saying, Nathaniel, I don't want you to part on bad terms.
I wouldn't. Are we on bad terms?
There's been a lot of weird things that have happened with this crew of late, not counting the plots to end the world, the potential sacrifice of several members of the crew, and a prisoner, no less. Oh, we need to deal with Fitzjeffrey, do we not?
We don't. It's handled.
By handled, do you mean what I think you mean? Does handle in this case refer to he has a new watery bed?
He is... While aboard the ship, Lieutenant Fitzjeffrey found himself a passion for deep-sea diving.
Good for him. Well, at least we won't have to see him around anymore.
No.
It's not really somebody I want having around my crew. But
And with me gone, you will also... well, me and Fitzjeffrey gone, you shouldn't have any problems with pirate hunters anymore. Nor will the Bishop of What's-His-Face keep coming after us.
I think the captain realizes what this means. And like in that passive, like, Nathaniel was up to something, wasn't he? And it's just not going to betray the knowledge. Like maybe her face like flashes for a second, but she's not going to. Very well. That will be much easier for the next treasure that I send the crew after.
Speaking of the crew, I would also take another member of the crew with me.
Who are you taking?
Corinne. She wants to go back to England. And that would be my ship's maiden voyage.
I suppose that is. If that's what she desires, then I am not one to keep my crew from their dreams and such.
You.
Can't-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I can't pretend that I'm not sad to hear all this. Although with Corinne gone, perhaps there will be less demons following us around. But I would be lying if I said I didn't. I'd be lying if I said I was not disheartened to hear all this.
Wish there were better circumstances, but we're sitting on a literal pile of gold.
We are. And consider it severance, and perhaps in your case, a wedding gift. At least you should take yours. And Corinne's and Josie's. Just a big long swig.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean we'll never see each other again. I mean,
No.
I have plans for the Caribbean.
Are you going to continue to sail under the code then?
Something like that. I'm thinking of opening a pleasure boat. A sailing house of ill repute.
And that does sound lovely.
We will plunder booty in more ways than one.
Well, is that not the whole point of a pleasure boat after all? It will be a very wet voyage, I assume.
We'll need many a swabby.
I don't want to lose more of my crew, but I have started to notice that my attempts to perhaps provide a maternal guidance to Steve has been not well met, if you haven't noticed. And he sure seems very fond of you.
He is. However, he should remain on the Salty Swallow.
You think so?
He needs to get more experience under his belt. He needs to actually serve as a useful crew member. Kid can't even pull the riggings yet.
He's quite lanky for 16, is he not?
Captain, he's not 16.
What? He said, and he acts. Oh.
In my profession, you sort of get to a certain point where you can identify the age of people with just a look. He is not 16.
A true child, then.
Yes. So, let the little monkey have fun in the riggings, climbing and jumping and whatever for a few years, and then once he actually starts to become a sailor in his own right, then perhaps if he wishes to join the Schlong's Revenge.
Ah, you have a name in mind already. It's a longboat, I imagine, correct?
I'm still... The name is going to be workshopped. This is the very first time I say it out loud, and it doesn't sound that fun.
Yeah, maybe it's the revenge that's the problem.
I know
with
it's
that.
just Blackbeard has this whole thing. I thought, you just
I
go with similar
know, I
branding.
No, gotta strike out on your own.
Well, I had the clam
Long
chowder.
John
but-
Silver's? Yes.
We'll workshop it.
Yes. But yes, I understand your desire to leave and make your own way, and I will not stop you. I will just consider the Swallow an ally and a friend.
Oh,
and as I
definitely.
said, I am going to help see you through your duel as a proper. It might be fun to have a proper duel to be a part of.
I've made drawings of what I want my ship to be. Do you mind if I show them to you?
Oh, sure, by all means.
So Nathaniel is by no means like an excellent artist, but the bark he has in mind would also be covered with buckler-wide studs all around the ship to make it ribbed.
This is quite the pleasure barge you are dreaming up.
Of course, the figurehead is a naked mermaid.
Yes. Good choice. I mean, mermaids are fine, I guess, if you're into that. It's fine.
And there's a page about Nathaniel's code, but he slams the notebook shut before you get to read too far about dress
Oh.
code and shit.
Oh, that's... Yeah, well... You will have whatever you need in terms of support from us.
Appreciated, Captain. I should say now that I am technically no longer part of the crew,
Yes, that is true.
I am appalled, Renata, that you never tried yourself on me even a single time.
I did, you just don't remember.
Well,
And Nathaniel, though appealing the offer would be to take you up on it now, I'm afraid I find myself in a predicament of the heart in which, while you are certainly attractive and charming and things that any person would desire, I'm afraid I've a little bit been spoken for. And if the previous night was any indication, I'll be spoken for quite some time.
Nathaniel would lean back on... he would, definitely sit on a chair across from you, lean back and take a glass of rum. I'd be like, so, how is he sober?
Well, a surprising amount of stamina for somebody that I've seen passed out in pig shit, for one. For another, let's just say his gifts are more than I expected.
Oh.
Yes, quite nimble.
Mm.
I don't know how I don't know how I got myself here. All I know is that sometimes the treasure you're not expecting to find ends up being the well, just I guess this is the penny trail that I'm following.
And I think on that, we pull back the camera out of the captain's quarters. And we there's a slight montage of the sun shifting just slightly as we see the crew of the Salty Swallow plus one former crew member knock on the door of the Gilded Steed, home to the most beautiful of the and fabulous of all whorehouses ever. You knock on the door. It's probably about midday. Your dear friend Javier cracks the door open, raises an eyebrow at you all, just gestures to the lockbox for the weapons in the foyer while he waits for you all to divest yourself of any armaments you might be carrying.
It takes a good while for the captain because there's like, well, there's this pistol, and then I have this sword, and also this cutlass, and also, do you want the I don't know if I can. Hold on. Oh, there's another. I don't remember putting a pistol in this boot. Anyway.
And then there's that moment of where he just looks at you and raises an eyebrow and kind of like, and the other three.
Fine. Here. One's just decoration. There's no shot in it. It's to be impressive.
Weapons inside the steed.
Well, clearly don't let this one in. And she's going to just gesture at Isaac and Nathaniel.
Those aren't weapons. Those are tools of the trade.
Indeed. Indeed. Javier, it's always a delight. Always.
Do the rest of you divest yourself of your weapons?
All of them except the bracers.
Corinne just came with her books, so she's gonna hang on to those.
I'll hand over my rusty dagger.
I keep forgetting Isaac has never, ever taken anything else.
He has his rusty dagger. Roll me. You need to roll me something to get those weapons through. Javier's good at his job. And even though you are an employee, you do have weapons, and the rules of the steed are no weapons.
Then I'll take the bracers off too.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if they would like pick up on them.
Oh yeah, no. Javier picked up on those because they are obvious. You know, you're wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
He also picked up on all the hidden weapons on Renata. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh.
So.
Well, nothing gets past you. One day I'll say that sentence properly.
Okay, whatever. And he will lead you up stairs to the back office of Madame Patience on the second floor, or excuse me, on the third floor. Because remembering, of course, that the layout for the second and the third floor is the same. The only difference is that the third floor, where that back room is the office that Mother Patience resides in, seated on a very nice, low, poofy couch with her in her signature green, emerald green silk dress. Patience waits for you all to enter, nods to Javier, who closes the door, and you don't hear him walk away. But he's not in the room.
Madam Patience, as always, a pleasure.
Indeed.
Or should we say a virtue?
Patience is a virtue.
Stop hitting on my mom.
I'm making polite conversation with your mother. Thank you.
And there's that look of like, Nathaniel, Really? Really?
Am I not your favorite child, Mother?
Well, I don't know. Did you bring me what I asked for?
I'm gonna take the piece out that we got for her out of my pocket and just hold it up.
Thank you. Then yes, Nathaniel, you are currently my favorite son.
Yes. So about this piece, what if I don't really want to give it up?
Would you like me to shoot you now or later then?
I have plans for when I get shot, and by whom. No, I mostly need to know, Mother Patience, what is in this box for you? Because as I've learned of recent, there are just some things that are better left under locks.
Indeed. There are many things that are better left under locks, that particular item as well, but considering that particular item was stolen by one Ignatius Steele and his associates, who seem to enjoy large crosses, it is ours to begin with. And considering the original caretaker failed in their duties, I was the appointed the new one. It also came with a very nice promotion for me. You should congratulate your mother, Nathaniel. She now has a much higher authority. And she just kind of like holds her hand out, fully expecting you to give it to her.
Wasn't the last guardian of this item my father?
No. The last guardian of this particular item was another person. Your father was attempting to retrieve it. Last I heard.
So my father worked for you.
We moved in similar circles and had similar goals. Have you become a member of the family business, Nathaniel? Giving up on my side of the family in favor of his.
I'm starting to wonder what's the difference between the two sides.
To be fair, one just involves more blood.
Mother, I came to tell you that... Well, the item is in the possession of Captain Renata, and seeing how I am no longer a member of her crew, my sway over the good captain is, well, whatever she wants it to be. I came to say goodbye, Mother.
Leaving the association. Leaving the guild as a whole, or just this particular house?
It's a bit more complicated.
Well, then we'll discuss it in person, Nathaniel. Because
we are
as
in
I
person.
no, without the, and she kind of looks at the other three.
Oh, okay.
Family business does not need to be aired entirely in public.
Well, I don't consider it dirty laundry or anything.
No, but one should keep one's mystique. Wouldn't want to shatter the illusions. And as for your answer, Renata, I will not be opening the item. I am merely taking possession of it and then ensuring that certain associates of, well, Ignatius Steele and those people who like to follow that great big red cross of his don't appropriate it.
Well then, perhaps we are at a similar goal, because we are definitely... I'm definitely going to be much more comfortable leaving it with you knowing you're not going to use it.
No, I have quite a bit of concern of anyone who would choose to use such items. Do you even know what's in the box?
I don't think I need to know the specifics to know generally that this is a bad thing. And frankly, at this point in my life and my career, I'm much okay with not knowing.
Sometimes
The only thing I was going to say, Mother Patience, the only thing I need to know is can Ignatius Steele be killed?
Of course, why wouldn't he be?
Call it a theory.
Oh,
Can we use what's in the box to kill him?
no, unfortunately. And she kind of looks at all of you. And then kind of takes a moment to gauge Corinne in particular. Last time we met, you had a very different look, Lady Haley.
Things change.
Well, change is good. Change allows us to evolve, better ourselves, bring things into alignment.
One hopes so.
The item that is in the box is considered a portion of a larger whole, as it were. The individuals with whom Ignatius Steele associates, or, from my information, commands, desire these items as a means of power and authority and control. Its actual purpose in this particular item can't actually convey those powers. It is a portion, not the whole. And as long as the whole is kept separate, those powers can't be used. So no, the item in the box cannot give you power over Ignatius Steele because it isn't whole. But that's its point and its purpose.
Perhaps it's a good thing then that we made out with quite a bit more than just your trinket here.
Oh, you robbed him blind.
Pirate.
And you see her actually kind of smile at that, and it's a smile that meets her eyes. It isn't that retail smile, that employee,
Yeah,
service worker smile that, you've seen her give a few times. This is an actual, oh, to be a fly on the wall when he saw that. But yes, Ignatius Steele is mortal, as far as I'm aware. Or as far as anyone's aware. I haven't heard that he's joined any immortal beings. Quite sure he wouldn't, given certain levels of zealotry and fanaticism in his belief processes.
Oh, good to have all the boxes checked, as it were.
No, he has power. He has command. Some small skill at, I believe, necromancy was the last rumored thing. But I don't know about that. Manipulation. But if you desired Nathaniel to stab him through the heart or through the jugular, he will bleed and die as any man.
And that's all I need to know. Nathaniel, if you are set here, we will let you have your discussion with your mother. Corinne, Isaac, I will hand Mother Patience thee.
She will take the box and she won't put it down. She will hold it and she looks at Nathaniel to see if he wishes to remain and have that conversation.
Yes, he says, hiccuping.
Okay. So the other three, and she would turn to the three of you and say, feel free to make yourself. There will be a minor friends and family discount.
Very well.
Enjoy
Oh,
yourselves.
I'll look at the other two, like, but I like lock eyes with Isaac. It's like I have a plan. Corinne.
Corinne will go off.
You see Javier kind of opens the door for you, lets the three of you out, and then closes the door, but doesn't move from it. So we're going to stay with Nathaniel for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nathaniel, what is this brilliant plan? You wish to leave the guild?
I wish to be my own man. That is all, Mother. I have given you years of loyal services.
Good.
I have given hours of pleasure to a lot of people around the Caribbean. It's time for me to... Wow, that was going to come out all wrong.
Say it.
No, it's gonna be kept for the After Dark.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's time for me to sail under my own flag.
Well, I've had a small promotion since you saw me last, Nathaniel. It seems certain people just can't handle their poisons. And I have now been promoted to the position of Grand Master of the guild. I wish to offer you the same rights as any house mother or father would hold.
Nathaniel would lounge down somewhere in the room. I have just one question, Mother.
Yes.
Two, in fact. Do I still have to...
Provide services?
No.
No.
Would I still have to call you Mother?
No. Patience is a very good name.
Do I get to be called Daddy?
Not mine.
Then it's settled. I will be the daddy of...
Your own show, your own establishment.
Yes.
Good. We do not. There are minor things that you should need to be aware, and the general rules we will write out after, I guess.
Oh yeah, we can get to the boring part after the duel. Someone
Yeah.
is very eager to die.
I'm very eager for you to kill him. The only important things you need to be aware of: one, guild rules are sacrosanct protection for all employees. You don't allow riffraff, and you don't allow harm to come to your employees. How you choose to ensure that is how you make your name. I made mine by the patience I exhibited in dealing with such. It takes a very long time for certain people to die of 1,000 cuts. But it makes a statement. Also, those of your father's profession are given sanctuary and protection under our houses. Those are the two rules we do not violate. As long as you can meet those, you may operate within the guild auspices and the protection thereof. You may not necessarily have to pay a tithe. In fact, I don't think I'm going to make you do so. The joys of being the Grand Master. Ooh, maybe Grand Mistress is a better title. But I would like, if it fits with your purposes in time, any time you might come across an information about those like Ignatius Steele, you would make sure to warn the rest of the family.
It's only logical. I mean, I would warn anyone who could either stand up to them or be hunted by them.
Then we are good. Javier took your weapons, but if you've joined your father's family, have you procured certain items then?
The bracers?
As long as you don't stab yourself in the neck.
I don't think that will happen.
I will also recommend, because I have seen it before, it is unfortunate at all times, remember not to let people wear them in the house, because those springs are not as well controlled as you think, and romantic gestures can be slightly harmed when an accidental dagger is produced.
Oh, I figured you don't bring these to the bedroom either.
You'd be surprised the number of times I've had to tell people that.
I'm not an idiot, Mother.
You're not, but so many others are. But, like I said, Nathaniel, my name is Patience. And we shall see what name you gain.
Yes.
And I think she offers you a drink. She offers you a drink, and as that, the camera kind of pans out into the lower levels of the fucking hell, the brothel of the Gilded Steed. What do we see the other three doing?
And the captain gave me I have a plan look.
I do, and I'm going to pay for a private bath and just be like, come with me.
I follow. Skipping.
I think I'm just going to turn to Corinne and be like, you're okay, right?
I'll be fine.
Maybe this is a good rebound situation.
Well, certainly some enjoyment after. Had a bad few days. Well, a bad few years, so.
I think before the captain goes trotting off with Isaac, she's going to give Corinne just a big, friendly hug. Because she knows that Corinne's leaving, but she hasn't mentioned it. She's just going to hug her really tight, like that very like sisterly sort of bond, and keep her hands on her shoulders and step back and just be like, I think you're gonna be all right.
I think initially it captures her off guard, but then I think she figures out that Captain knows, and she'll give.
Yes. Pat her on the shoulder, turn around to Isaac and be like, shall we?
There's lots of rum in there.
Yes. Grab a couple bottles. And she's just gonna grab his hand and just kind of drag him into the private bath and kind of wink.
You hear the click of the lock on the door?
We pull out of this and we see...
So does Isaac.
Do we?
I was just about to make that joke.
God damn. Okay. Moving on. Thanks, guys.
The camera pulls out, if you know what I mean.
Pulls back. That doesn't work any better.
We're just gonna cut to a different scene.
We cut to hours later as the ship is underway and having left Tortuga towards Havana. and you see Havana in the distance. You know you'll make land, you'll be docking in about half an hour, or an hour maybe. Before we get there, is there anything in particular any of you wish to do?
Before the end, huh? Before the big duel?
I will spend time with Josie.
She's not there. Remember, she's being kidnapped, and you're going to rescue her.
I'm going
Maybe
to
it's just-
spend time thinking about Josie.
Okay, that's fair.
Nathaniel.
We know what that actually means.
Damn it.
You're going to rescue her? So Nathaniel is brooding, emo. You just see him, those shots like Ned Stark patiently sharpening his blade perpetually in his quarters. Where's Corinne?
Corinne is in her quarters. I think she's going to go to Nathaniel one more time and say, all right, this will be the last. Either we get through this or we don't. But the book's unfinished and maybe we can finish it. I've thought of something else that might help. Instead of focusing on what your life was, write down what you will do. And that might allow us to finish this book.
So I would like you to roll plus vinegar.
All right, Vinegar,
But
come on.
you're going to take a -1 because this is your second attempt at the same book.
Yep. This is... Oh, it's too bad there's no way for me to take harm on... Yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
You can do it.
Come on. 7? That's better.
The book
That
is complete.
Yay. That is better than...
The book is complete. How...
And I think after we manage to get that written down, you just know that it's definitely taken a lot of Corinne. Like,
Do you need anything?
no, I think this feeling means that we have succeeded. And as long as the power, it will have taken some of my power to make sure the book works. So I'm willing to take this downside until we need to have done what's done. But I mean to rest until we actually get there and confront Steel. I suggest we all prepare. She will leave.
And Captain, is there anything you and you need to have finish?
I'm sorry, I'm having an immature moment.
I know, I intentionally did that one.
I kind of figured. I think in the bathhouse was great. We set sail, food's been brought back to the captain's quarters. And I think in the sort of repose afterwards, I think she's gonna turn to Isaac and be like, I don't know what to expect out of this duel. So I'm going to put an offer out for you, Isaac. I got a couple. Apparently, our crew is going to be getting a little smaller soon, which is probably not necessarily a bad thing.
Steve, isn't it? He wants to leave, become his own man.
No. Steve apparently is quite actually a child, and I don't mean like a 16-year-old kind of thing. I mean, he is much younger, apparently.
He's clearly a man.
No, apparently he's not, and Nathaniel has informed me of such. No, my offer. Listen, so we're about to have a few of our crew go with Nathaniel on his pleasure barge, which he has shown me. Don't look so scandalous after that. I've lived my life for the most part around ships, on ships, as a crew member, as a captain. I have no intention of stopping sailing necessarily. But I'm looking for a little more settlement in my life.
That's perfect. I've been trying to tell everyone you can't pirate forever.
Yeah, I mean, I still would like to. The pirate's life is quite grand. Well, I guess I'm saying they're all going to leave. Do you want to stay? And stay, like, in a more official capacity.
Renata, I don't want glory. I don't want money. I don't want power. I don't want your ship or titles. All I want to do is spend the rest of my time that I have with you.
Okay. I want to leave the Caribbean. I think we should sail elsewhere.
Travel's good.
Yeah, there's more sea to see. Okay.
If you would just give me one moment, just like a couple minutes, if we know what a minute is in this timeline.
Yes, you know what a minute is.
You've frozen us in a minute before. All right. Yes.
Deirdre, I want to run to the treasure hoard and just find a ring somewhere.
Okay, that's easy enough to do.
Perfect.
You grab one. I need you to roll me a D100.
Oh no, it's gonna be cursed.
No. It is a lady's ring. It is large diamond emeralds surrounded by sapphires. It's ostentatious and possibly could act as like a weapon if you hit somebody in the face with it.
Oof.
I mean, she's not gonna deck you anymore. She might
without consent, of course.
Yeah, I probably wasn't too thorough because I was like, oh, there's one, haha. And I'll run back, very out of breath, I suppose, Renata, will you do me the honor in sailing the seas together with me for as long as you'll have me? And I'll get on one knee and hold up the ring that we all own.
And I think this is probably one of those moments where, for once in Renata's life, her head is not calculating 14 steps ahead or 13 steps behind. She's not looking for a secret motive. She's not looking for whatever she needs to do to protect herself and her power and everything. She is just letting go and saying yes. Well, this is this is
something,
good, buddy. You know? Yeah. Yeah.
something different. I'm not really sure what to say right now.
I think she's just gonna kiss him and shut him up. Just be like, just.
And we see the camera fade to black again as the ship docks in Havana. And there's a figure waiting, dressed in full livery, a slightly powdered wig, Spanish styling, and large, heavy gold cross around his neck. And he waits. And the minute you are docked, he starts evaluating you all. And the minute he sees Nathaniel, he hands Nathaniel a folded, sealed piece of parchment.
It's a dick. Someone drew a picture of a dick on a piece of paper. Sir, I dare you! Now, what's on the paper?
It's instructions to the villa, and that he will be waiting your challenge.
Oh, of course we're fighting at the villa.
Yes, in the courtyard.
He wants home turf advantage.
That he does.
Well, I have friends. He doesn't. Ergo, I win through the power of friendship.
Pirate.
No, I can be a pirate and still have friends.
Yes, I'm just saying that the power of friendship is usually not the power that pirates have.
All right.
You make your way to the villa. He is waiting for you in the courtyard. I'm just gonna be this person, and like, I don't have a like.
Well, it's the inner court.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't have a token for him. Like.
Nah, that's okay.
Just find like a standard picture of a goblin. That's probably what he looks like, right?
We can describe what he looks like. He is very well dressed. He's got that waxed mustache and the kind of little goatee, very dark swooshy hair, kind of about a good 15, 20 years older than you, Nathaniel, but he's that much older than you, but he doesn't look it. He looks maybe 5, at most 10. Standing there, he's not wearing his full plate armor that you've seen, the painting you've seen him in most, but he is holding a sword in one hand, and he is wearing a halberd, or excuse me, not halberd, talberd, not halberd.
I was gonna say, if he's holding a halberd to a duel, sir, we gotta talk.
He's gonna throw it at you.
No, and he's wearing that talberd that's white with the very large red equilateral cross on it, and he stands and he waits at you.
Nathaniel turns around to the people on the balcony of the court and says, "Hello, raiders!"
And you would notice Josie in the balcony of the courtyard, standing in a very fine red dress, her hair brushed and down, the opal necklace that you stole around her throat, and this kind of dazed look on her eyes.
Raiders, you are coming in just in time for the final fight of our pirate campaign. I am about to kill my father-in-law in-game to stop him from mind controlling my girlfriend, and we're about to go. Oh, thank you. Steal.
Ashworth, I get to kill another member of your family. I will look forward to this.
Nathaniel will draw his rapier with his left hand.
He will draw his sword in his right, stand, and Hungald. There is a gentleman who attempts to come up and basically, like, préparé, Hungald, préparé, allez, but
I think it's
I
the
don't-
only thing Steele and I agree on. We just look at the guy and be like, yo, shut the fuck up.
So we're going to we're going to say, just as this moment begins, Corinne, what are you doing? As you kind of come in as part of this, the entourage, and you are standing, you know, you and your captain and everyone is standing here at the entrance of this villa into this courtyard with these people, you know, the servants and Josie that you can see at the end of it on the balconies. What are you doing, Corinne?
She's making sure that this book is well within Steele's view, just to know that shouldn't try anything underhanded in this.
Okay. So you're
But-
not doing anything at the moment.
Not the moment, but I would like to just analyze the scene, see if there's anything I can
Sure.
help Nathaniel with.
Yep.
Guys.
Go ahead. Roll
I-
plus vinegar.
Yeah, my good old -2 vinegar. Let's go.
Yep.
6.
Oof.
Maybe that's not terrible considering what.
You may ask one, but I will only give you a yes or no answer.
Mm-hmm. Is there something here that I can use to my advantage? What is it?
To your advantage,
Or are?
You-
Yeah.
the biggest thing you can use to your advantage is preventing Nathaniel from being overwhelmed by his weakness of desiring vengeance
Mm-hmm.
and his compulsion.
Well, I mean, my compulsion is just to kill him. It doesn't give me any penalties or anything, so.
No, I understand, but I'm saying is like realistically at the moment, that's the best she can do is
Oh, okay.
stop you from. For Corinne, I'm not talking about for you, but for Corinne, the
Yeah.
best she can do to the turns to her advantage is to make sure that your compulsion doesn't put you out of control and that you don't make stupid mistakes with your sword
Yeah, I think
because you
she,
get too angry.
I think she will. Yeah, she knows. Like she preyed on that compulsion. She'll go up to him. Clear mind. Keep that clear mind. I've seen you duel. Don't let his words get to you. Clinically, effectively, and then we can go home. She'll step
Okay.
back.
Is there like any like agreed upon thing like no magic or funny business?
No one said anything about that.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna do these as because technically in most PBTA games, the DM doesn't roll anything.
Uh-huh.
I just think that because this isn't actually a duel between the two of you, we will have a contested rolls. Does that meet with your agreement, Simon? From a mechanic standpoint?
Yes.
He doesn't get any bonuses. His is just flat 2d6.
Yeah.
Okay, we good?
Yeah.
I read him poetry.
No, I'm good. I was just making sure my moves were in order.
Okay, I want to check because we are kind of changing technically the rules of the
Oh,
game.
no.
But
Come at me, bruh.
okay, fine. I will let you make first strike, however.
Okay. It's a duel.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna
Get him.
spend all 3 ranks that I have with Josie.
She is diligently well.
No, it's
She's
my
watching.
duel. It's my duel thing.
Yeah, I
I
know.
spend X bond with someone watching 3.
She is watching.
And then I pick 3 of the following tags.
Yep.
I'm gonna say stun, forceful, and pretty. So I need to check in the book 2 seconds. Stun. Target is compelled to see stars for a few seconds. Pretty, it's just very pretty in how I fight.
But pretty
And-
gives you a +1 to flourish, right?
No, it doesn't do anything, I think. It's not a tag that exists in the book.
Okay.
Which, I mean, whatever.
I would say, because again, we're playing, for those of you new and welcome in, we are playing Rapscallion, which is an Ashcan from Magpie Games. Because it's an Ashcan, I would say because you have Flourish,
Mhm.
Pretty would give you a +1
To flourish.
to Flourish. Yeah.
Okay. So
That just seems to make sense to me.
I will Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, and I will flourish.
Oh, please.
So I spend all my bonds. I look at Josie on the balcony with all the raiders. And then I wave at Trooper. Nathaniel takes his rapier out and comes in with a high downward strike, almost like a strike of wrath, but in a nice, beautiful, like half semicircle. Almost telegraphing his shot, but that's because he wants his opponent to be focused on the flashy rapier. So that's a blood, and you said with a +1?
Yeah, because you have Pretty.
Am I allowed to, because I'm listed as his second, use my bond with Nathaniel as just like an extra +1?
You can always spend a +1 to give.
Yeah. I think I will use my 1 rank with Nathaniel as his second
Okay.
to give him that extra +1.
And I take the 2 lowest out of my 3d6. So it's gonna be a total for no, it's a 4. Sorry, god damn it.
So it's a 10.
8.
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
4
8,
plus
yeah.
4, 8.
8. So, a strike. A palatable strike, sir. What do you do get to hit.
Yes.
Do you also wish because you're flourishing? Well, you do also. You're just normal flourish, right?
No, because I'm not left-handed either.
Yeah, there's that.
So,
And he is a fated enemy.
he is a fated enemy. And so I move with the rapier, almost telegraphing my attacks so that steel goes in to block or dodge it. And as he does so, I will come up with the gauntlet and stab him in the eye, blinding him.
Ooh, blinding him.
And he also takes like 3 arms. 3 harm.
Well, you can either blind him or you take an additional 3 harm.
No, but doesn't he take
Oh.
the regular damage from the weapon?
Yeah, he takes the regular damage from the weapon, and you're hitting him with the hidden blade, so that's 3 harm. Yeah. So he takes 3 harm. His staggers slightly. He parried well your rapier and wasn't fully expecting you to have abilities with the gauntlets. Like, he knows of their existence and what they are because of who he is.
Yeah,
But
but you
he's-
know, I'm just a ridiculous escort.
You're a ridiculous escort, and the last time he saw you, you did not wear those.
Nope, that is true.
So, to his knowledge, you would have no knowledge, and he doesn't, to all of his knowledge. So he's bleeding from the right eye profusely. And he kind of staggers back, but he brings his own blade around to try and strike at you. And with a 5, he
Ooh.
misses as he's blinded and kind of staggers back. There's now blood dripping out of his face. He looks slightly disoriented. You have another. It's your strike, sir.
I sidestep him,
Mm-hmm.
and as I do so, I mean, Nathaniel doesn't care about honor. Nathaniel doesn't care about fighting fair. Nathaniel's just gonna whip out a pistol and shoot him point blank in the back.
I mean, I'm for this. I'm all for this. Roll your shot. Plus blood.
Yes, and it's not a flourish or anything. It's just, oh, you know what? Fuck it. It's a flourish because it looks cool.
And you get the +1 for
Yeah.
having that pretty
So
weapon for a
it's
duel.
going to look very much like a calculated sidestep, draw the pistol out, and probably a smile and a wink at the audience.
Who there aren't very many of, surprisingly.
Well, Josie.
Yeah, Josie. Josie's your audience here.
But that's
with
gonna be a 6.
7. No,
I
no, a
take
6.
the
You
2
are correct.
lowest. Yeah, I
A
did a
6.
boo-boo this time.
You shoot, and the weapon, you were perfect in where you were shooting, except he just kind of staggered slightly more than you thought and pulled his head out of line of target at the very last second. But he hears the shot, at which point he's going to turn and gesture with an offhand at you. There's no blade, there's no in his hand, and he merely looks at you. And I need you to roll vinegar
Piece of
as he tries to compel you.
Is this really how it's going to go? Steal?
I really shouldn't expect any honor for such a low-blood assassin.
Ah. You said vinegar?
Mm-hmm.
4!
You feel yourself start to be compelled to lower your weapons. Yeah, Corinne, you can see this.
All right, Corinne, she knows what's going to. She sees the hand gesture and just sees Nathaniel's like graceful move just like turn into like just stilted like inaction. She will open Nathaniel's book to when Nathaniel declared his love to Josie, and she will read that, hoping that that will break the compulsion.
I need to check one thing because I'm pretty sure.
Is it in the book? Oh, shoot.
No, the great thing about this is you've already created the book, so You just need to. You don't need to roll. You've already created the book, so. Simon, the great thing about this particular book is, as she's reading it aloud, you see overlaid this motion, this kind of movie image of this declaration of love to Josie and of the two of you. And while she's reading, you suffer 0 compulsions. You don't have to roll stand your ground. You just are no longer compelled. By anything, including your vengeance. You have a clear mind and can act in your own accord.
I throw the pistol away.
Okay.
Firearms were never his shot. But you want to do this, Mr. Ignatius Steele? I whip out my book.
Book club.
You have to roll.
I swear I'm just gonna look at Isaac and just be like, I did not think that books were the kind of weapon we'd be facing here.
Yeah, this has gotten a little weird.
Yeah.
For shame, sir, you wisheth to use magic. You will be brought low by the words of William Shakespeare. As I read a random sonnet, honestly, I tried to find them earlier, and I couldn't find one that was appropriate for murdering someone. It's
That's valid.
vinegar, right?
Yep.
Please don't fail me. Fail me. I can't. I can't
But-
do anything.
You can. You hit him. You're very good at hitting him, apparently. No, it would be a 7. Or, no, it'd be a 6. Well, no, you'd still fail. It's a 6.
Yeah. Well,
Because you
it's-
forgot the +1 for pretty.
Well, I didn't count it because one way or another I'm not fighting with the rapier, but...
But it doesn't matter. It's still part of the duel.
Oh, okay.
And it's the tag for the duel. Well, the weapon, but also with the duel. I can see that. All right. So, still would fail. He decides that, obviously, you're attempting to use magic, and he kind of shakes his head, and he goes to bring a swing of his rapier towards you. And as he is currently blinded, I'm going to give him a -1 to his strike. And he still rolls a 7. So he is going to strike randomly at your torso,
Mhm.
and give you 2 harm.
Nathaniel recoils, throws the sonnet book aside, holds up his chest, and
I mean,
flourishes
it's like a
with
scratch.
the rapier. Yeah, he just holds it and then looks at his hand bloodied, and he's like, well, looks like the sword is mightier than the pen. And it worked the first time. We're not gonna fuck around. We're just gonna do the same thing. He tried everything. He had many ways in his mind that he wanted to get rid of Steel, but that didn't work. So he's gonna take the 10. Sorry, 10.
Yeah, 10. 10 is good. 10 is very good.
And oh yes, before. Oh my God, I'm turning into the guy in Game of Thrones, Pedro Pascal.
Over on
oh no.
Nartel.
Over
Oh
on Martel.
no.
So
Oh no.
I flourish bring his sword out and put my sword to his throat using... I'm not left-handed either. And I will force him to say something incriminating.
Ooh.
Say it. Tell the world how much of a monster you are, Steel.
You know, if I had known that you would have been such a big problem, I would have ensured that Josie killed you just after I killed and ended your father.
Well, I have my next line already ready, but he has to roll first.
He does. But he still does. You still do damage from the weapon. What is your weapon damage?
Rapier is... Boop, 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 boop. Oh, it's a 2 harm, 1 piercing, so you can remove... no, because the bracer was 3. But the rapier
bracer
is
was
2
3.
harm, and it's already pretty 1. Pretty. And 1
Yeah.
piercing.
So you are. He's still rolling with -1 because he's
I found the
blinded.
tag. It strokes my ego.
Well, you know, it strokes your ego, and I'm giving you a +1 because you have a flourish. I'm making a roll. It's what a roll is. He still has a -1 because of he's blinded, and he says his line, and then he goes to swing at you, and he's going to miss horribly with a 5.
Wow.
So he stumbles around. I sidestep again. I'm gonna do an Oberon Martel of myself. With another 10. I'm going to force him to say something illuminating. I'm going to force him. Tell her, pointing at Josie. Tell her how you've never loved her. How you never cared about her beyond her usefulness as a tool. Shameful father that you are.
Well, she's not really my daughter, merely my construction after my daughter died.
Does it help break her out of the thing? Because that was my hope.
Yes, it does. She starts moving. And you see, everyone else will pan the camera back up. And while the 2 duelists are focused on each other, the other 3 would see Josie kind of shake her head, look at what she's wearing, which is a very fancy, very formal, restrictive gown, and start looking around. And there are people, like 2 guards standing next to her who go to move, and she just kind of pats her pocket, kind of smiles, tilts her head, pulls it up, and shoves Pocket Brick into one of their faces. But that's what everyone else sees happening up on the balcony, as now Josie is fully engaged with beating the crap out of the guards on the balcony.
In my mind, she whacks the guard with the brick and he falls down the balcony and you just hear the Willem scream.
Yeah, off the back side of the balcony, into the other patio.
Yeah.
Off that side of the patio. And then after that response, Ignatius is going to try and roll at you again. He still has that -1 from being blinded, and he can't hit shit. It's the second time in a row he's rolled a 5.
Last one, I promise. I'm not martelling it any longer. So with a 10,
I mean, 10.
with a 10, I will sign with my rapier, like do a little flourish in the air.
Yeah.
And look at him and say, "My name is Nathaniel Ashworth. You have killed my father. Prepare to die." And I will use the +3 harm to deal 5 harms.
Yeah, he's dead. You stab him through the throat. Stab him through the heart. Just right side, right in between those ribs. He falls dramatically. And he's bleeding out over the floor. You hear finally this clatter of fighting that's been occurring on the balcony as Josie kind of lands next to you. She has cut the sides of this dress because these skirts are too hard for her to move in and she doesn't like it. And she has reappeared with Big Swingy, and she is prepared. She goes, looks at you, looks very concerned, doesn't quite know what's going on, and just, are we going home now?
For just dramatic purposes, I think Nathaniel would like clamber up to the balcony where she is, and
Okay, before she jumped down then?
oh no, if she jumped down, that's true. She jumped down, so he would just come up to her and basically put an arm around like her lower back and like bring her closer for a kiss.
So a full-on dip kiss.
Yeah, a dip kiss.
And we'll fade, the lens of the camera will focus in on this moment of the two of them as we pull back out. This is the kiss and it's occurring here, and we see this happening, and we then slowly focus in the camera, and then the camera focuses back out, and it's the same image of Josie and Nathaniel, but now Josie's dressed more comfortably like she usually is, on the deck in the prow of their own ship, sailing away into the dawn, I would say, into the sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to take a moment and we're going to say that's where we're going to end the story. But we're going to let each of you, as we do the ending, give us a one shot of what the crew is doing as we leave this tale. Did we all have fun?
Yes.
Yes.
Ton.
Oh, it was such a blast.
I apologize for going slightly over, but there was a good duel happening.
I didn't even notice it was overtime.
Yeah, I realized it after the duel, like, when I was rolling the last roll. I checked the time and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think we were past 4 o'clock.
Well, I guess for our dramatic conclusion, I have two ideas.
Okay.
One is really stupid, and one is completing the romantic cycle.
Okay, well, give me both.
Okay, so the stupid idea is as we all leave the village, the captain is going to burn it down because this all started with us in flames, and I'd like it to end with all of it in flames. So I'd like to burn Steele's villa to the ground.
We burn Steele's villa to the ground. You see this beautiful Spanish colonial villa on a hill overlooking the Caribbean Ocean in Havana, burning. And you just have this image of the camera focuses in on the image of the portrait that was hanging in the entrance hall, and you just see the flames kind of lick up the image of Ignatius Steele and burn him away. And the last thing you see is that heavy red cross ring on his hand burn and flame and go away. And you see everyone else fleeing from the villa.
Yes. That's how I picture. I figured this is probably one of the last things that we'll all get to do together as a crew. So
one last arson.
Last arson as a crew. And my more romantic thing would just be picturing the swallow down the line with a happily married Renata, still pirates, but also occasionally a merchant ship for Turner Sugar. And, it's not like they don't steal things or cause havoc or, spend money at houses of ill repute. It's just now sometimes the swallow has gone legitimate. If that's good with dear Isaac.
Oh, yeah. Isaac let's see, what's your last name? Rochefort?
Yeah, de Rochefort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Isaac will take your last name. It's fine.
I
How so progressive. How absolutely progressive,
What?
Mr. de Rochefort.
He's also moving on up in the world.
Mhm.
He's
It's
not
true.
sleeping with pigs anymore.
Yeah,
No.
like Isaac is totally okay playing second fiddle, you know. You can be the lead. But the scene that Isaac like portrays, so they're at the courthouse and the camera like slowly zooms in on Renata and Isaac's hands. Like you see, we both have rings on, and Renata is like signing papers, and the camera like just like pans over and it's like adoption papers. There's like a notary or something there, and like somebody like stamps it or makes it legal. And then I turn around and I see Steve and I go, "Come here, son."
Oh no.
He just produces a knife from behind his back and he's like,
We don't stab our father.
he's not my dad.
Paperwork says
Done.
otherwise.
Son, don't be this way. Come give me a hug.
He just stands there, stares.
And then that's where the scene closes.
Uh-huh. Corinne, where are you?
I think she enjoys being a part of Nathaniel and Josie's crew on this. She's
Love
probably
boat?
Huh? Yeah.
On the love boat?
Mm-hmm. Just just maybe being the person that takes care of the books of this place. Gotta keep it staying afloat, making money. And it gives her extra time to prepare herself because the demon probably wants some sort of revenge on her. And this is something that's probably going to gnaw away at her mind ever since. But she's with friends. And she's managed to put up wards and keep her sister safe. And that's all she wants.
Well. And then Nathaniel.
Nathaniel would be on the deck of his ship. Speaking with Josie and say, you know, we risked a lot to get the treasure that we needed for this ship. I feel like it should be time for us to metaphorically hang our cutlasses for a while and just sail the world. What do you say?
Okay. Does that mean we're not killing anyone?
No, we will. Just,
Oh, okay.
we're not gonna make it a business for at least an extended vacation.
Okay. I like that.
And he would look at the crew that are coming up with the new flag for Nathaniel's ship. And when they unfurl it, it's a giant red rose on a black flag.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. And that image of that black flag with the red rose embroidered on it with flowing in the wind is where the camera closes.
I absolutely needed to plug a Black Sail reference.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. After you finally figured things out. I'll talk about that later.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for sticking around with us throughout these 2 seasons of Black Flag. Thank you to all of you who donated to alter the story. Thank you to everyone who just hung out in chat, lurked in chat. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. Thank you for all the raids, all the follows, all the everything throughout our season. Thank you to our sponsors, Mage and Press, Found Familiar, Roll20, and our partners, Level Up Dice. This has been a wonderful, wonderful campaign. Thank you to Magpie Games for publishing the Ashken version of Rapscallion. Thank you to Whistler, the author, who will probably never see this video, but it's a really fun game. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to the players. Thank you to Quentin, to Alyssa. Thank you to Shauna. Thank you to Lindy. And a big, big thank you to our fates, Deirdre, for weaving this whole story. It was amazing. And I will leave the mic up to the rest of the cast to let us know where we can find them. Starting with Girthy Isaac the Nimble.
Heyo. Wow, what an adventure. Like, pirates are fun, y'all. Like, hey. Wow, let's see. After this, I don't know. I'm gonna do nothing. At Twitter, Dragon in the chat. Again, thanks everybody for watching. Like when you watch in chat and you comment and follow along with the story, it's really fun for me because I'm always in there like typing stuff. So thank you all for watching on YouTube and in Twitch chat and just following along. It's been an amazing story. Deirdre, like, oh my god, it's been so fun. And then yeah, to the casting crew, Simon, Shauna, Alyssa, Lindy, I miss you so much. Yeah, it's so fun. So thank you all again.
Captain Renata the Rush 4.
I'm so happy with how it ended, and I'm so sad that it's over. And thank you all so much, always, for playing with me, for being the best crew and the best fates that anybody could ever ask for. I'm at Xander Slamilton on Twitter. I'm around to say bullshit on Twitter, and I will be starting next week on Praxis channel, joining the regiment. I'm going to be playing, well, I don't really want to say much about it yet. Let's just say I have a type when it comes to characters I tend to play in Deirdre's games. And for some reason, I am nothing if not on brand. But seriously, thank you all so much. Thank you for all of this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing along. Simon, thank you for having me on this channel. I honestly have had just the fucking weirdest year. I know everybody has, but I have definitely felt it. And the one respite that I can guarantee is coming and playing this game. So thank you, everyone. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Up next is her ladyship, Corinne.
Hey, oh man, I've had such a delightful time running with this crew, having these people, and thank you so much for having me. Thank you for being such an awesome fate. I have had a wonderful time with this. I'm going to miss it, honestly. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching, keeping us donating, and keeping watches in chat and stuff. This was great. But yeah, for me, I'm Flying Cirrus on Twitter, and you can catch the games I play and the art that I do on there as well. And for one announcement, I designed a hero for the upcoming Hero Quest game. And that just got my pledge here just got fun. So that for sure, my Warlock's gonna be in there, and I will say this. This game had a decent amount of influence on what I wanted to do with the character. So hey, it's like it was not an insignificant thought in my brain when making Warlock. So
And lastly, in our crew playing just about everyone in the Caribbean, Deirdre.
Oh, hi, all. I'm glad you all had fun. Thank you for joining me on this experiment where we took a game that I wrote. That's the whole thing. It's like, I love playing these for the Descended from the Queen games, but then I'm like, so we created these characters, now I want their story. And thank you for giving me their story. And thank you for letting me be a part of that story. Hey all, I love all of you, and this is a great thing, and I thank you all for enjoying and indulging me in the hilarity drama that I fully created. This is now half a homage to Captain Blood by Raphael Sabatini, with the film starring Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland. Rest in peace, because we lost her a month ago. At the ripe old age of 103. But is also an homage to one of my favorite video game series of all time, Assassin's Creed. And I want you to know that this actually started so early in the beginning of this plotting because Lindy sent me a message where she's like, I want to be like, there's, the whole thing about the serial killer and this whole bit. And I was like, okay. So now you're a serial killer that you're working for the Templars, and now we've got all of these things. And I had already decided, even before other people showed up and started to do these things, I decided that Nathaniel, whose missing father, would make a great assassin that just disappeared. And for those of you who want the spoiler, now that we are far away at the end, as Simon did get it today, every time he got possessed was because he discovered that Desmond was bothering him through an animus. And because Corinne was magic, he could now register that the animus was controlling him. But those are fun things that have happened in this story. But unfortunately, the story is over. And I love all of you, and I appreciate all of you, and thank you so much. As for me, you know me, I'm at Deirdre Dolman on Twitter, or Praxagorth as me for you as you see me around on Twitch. And where you can find me next? Well, you can find me in about 2.5 hours over on my channel with Simon and Greg Grimjack. And I'm giving a special gift to the two DMs of this Witcherverse that we're playing. And I'm giving them a flashback one-shot of their two Witchers who, one of whom we know is dead in the current timeline because Ezekon is being dead as a main point. We don't really know what happened to Serwyn. We don't see him. So I was like, here, we're going to tell this story.
The players never went that way.
They didn't. They didn't go that way. We don't know where he is. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know if he's going to be, anything. But that's all future stuff. Right now, we're looking at the past. And that'll be about 2.5 hours at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific over on my channel on Praxagorth Esmiophoria. And then also, I'm going to give this spoiler away because Alyssa gave it away. You can also find Alyssa playing in another game where I am being experimental with rules and mechanics in The Regiment, which will be starting on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Saturday evenings. And we're using the Green Ronin Sword Chronicles system for a Napoleonic Wars Peninsular Campaign game focused around a particular regiment in the British Army. And we're using a couple rules from Good Society as well. And so there'll be lots of, so if you like things like Horatio Hornblower, the Sharp series, mastering the Pat O'Brien naval books, drama, Jane Austen, and fighting the Napoleonic French, come join us. It'll be great. Alyssa's in that. Anina, who's in chat, is in that. Trooper, who was in chat, I don't know if he still is going to be in that. Actually, I think Trooper is still in chat. And also, so Anina, Alyssa, Trooper, and Jim, other Doc. And I will see you all on Saturday for that. But the other Ling, you'll find me back here. Don't worry, I'm not going far away. I'll be back here on Monday. But I'll let Simon tell all the other things because he does that very well. You're muted to us. I don't know if you're muted to your public.
I wasn't muted to the public, but I was muted for everyone. You can find us on Monday for the finale of Season 3 of Castle Falkenstein. And then you can find us on... I need to check my calendar.
Thursday?
Maybe, Thursday for Dragon Age, that's for sure. For our penultimate episode of Dragon Age. Search for Anders. On Friday, there might be Cyberpunk. There might not. We might just delay the premiere by a week because of stuff on my end. And we'll see. I'll tweet about it this week because it really mostly depends on my workload for the week. And then on Saturday, we are taking a break here on the 3rd, but there will be a new show. It's not going to be here. It's actually going to be in partnership with Level Up Dice because they're partnering. But instead of being hosted here, we'll host it over on the Level Up Dice Twitch channel. It is going to be a modern magical / supernatural game of... I don't know yet because the players haven't decided. I'm leaving it up to them. But our first session is going to be on the 10th. And I can't wait for it. Same time as this game. So from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to check that out. On this note, we're going to get going. Let's see if there's someone that we can raid very quickly this afternoon, or if everyone's gone to do their own things. Oh, we've got our friends at Unmade Gaming playing Coriolis. So I think we're just going to go and raid Mike. I should write the name properly. All right. And on that note, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for sticking around. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye.